All right, enough with that. Hey, Puppet Master, once again. All right, let's go ahead and get started here today, guys. What we're doing today is we are going to start on. This is kind of a re-video on one that I made a while back, and a couple people actually had an issue with it. So with this video, we are going to be. This is the map we're going to be making today, but we're going to be using Wonderdraft and Google Earth to create scale. So let's go ahead and get started with that. First off, here is our just a general map, and we're going to be taking this into Wonderdraft to kind of plan with it and figure out scale. And the way we're going to do that, man, I'm sorry about that. I thought I was running a test, and I was actually streaming their Puppet Master. So, we do this live. So let's go ahead and open up Wonderdraft, and it's going to be important for us to make a couple notes here. First off, we're going to go to a new painting, and these numbers we are going to jot down for a couple of reasons. First of all, we're going to go 6,300 pixels by 4,200 pixels. We'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, let's go ahead and open that up. Now, the reason why we are measuring that is we're going to use those pixels to determine how big an area is. So let's go ahead and import. We're just going to import that map on our desktop. Now, it just so happens that that is 3,600 by 4,200 pixels. All right, there's a map. Don't like that for this theme. Let's just zip over to pastel. Yeah, that works. All right, so in order to find the size of this, we're going to kind of first of all ask ourselves, how big do we want this map to be? So let's go ahead and have a look. Let's pull up the best tool ever, Google Earth. And we're in Google Earth, we can determine kind of how the size we want to make based on the size of a continent. Let's say we're going to Europe. Let's just kind of measure Europe stem to stern. There we go. So right now, this is about 2,000 miles-ish. Let's measure down here. So 2,000 to 1,000. And then next from that information, we need another piece of information on how many miles a human being can walk in a day. We're going to determine that through, here, let me show you guys. This is a list of all the websites I went to. So I've got 4 or 5 references. I will be linking them in the descriptions in full. Last time I did this in this kind of measurement, someone had a little bit of hubris with it and really didn't agree with me on this. So I went in and I grabbed a ton of references from modern day to old Romans to a bunch of other things from the Mayo Clinic on how much a very healthy individual can walk. And we're going to say that number is about... Oh, no problem, Puppet Master. Man, I should just have you on the show now. Just get you into, just get you on Discord and we can just chat. So we're gonna assume, most of these articles say a human being can walk 18 to 25 miles in a day. Okay, the world record that someone has is 142 miles in a day. You can check that out right there. In the Romans, the ideal line for a Roman with full gear, full packs, full armor was between 18 to 20 miles in a day. So for adventurers or for anybody else, we're going to say 20 miles in a day. Okay, so what we're going to do next is let's go ahead and we're going to measure from the tip of Portugal all the way, let's say, to Poland-ish. Actually, let's go to Denmark. Yeah, that's good, 1,500 miles. So we're going to take that and bring up maths. And we're going to say we have 1,500 miles. Let's divide that by 20. In order for someone to walk here to here, straight line without any mountains, issues. Oh, oh no. Yeah, I love Portugal. Uh, really awesome history. Um, so in order to do, sorry, let me do this again. 1,500. We're going to divide that by 20. So 75 days. Now that's not including mountains, rivers, or anything. That's kind of just a straight shot, 20 miles a day, kind of 2 months and some change. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the pixel size we just made. What if we said, since we're working with a pixel size of 6,300 and 4,200, well, that kind of creates a very interesting thing. Okay, that same pixel size is roughly a map, poster size of 36 inches by 24 inches. And if we take that 36 by 24, that 6,300 and divide it by 2, we get 3,000. Let's divide that by 20 now. 157 days for a person, an individual at scale to walk from 36 inches to 24 inches. If we say that those pixels, sorry, it's the morning. If we use those pixels, divide this by half, then divide it by 20, we get 157 days walking across the top. Let's go ahead bottom, 4,200, and we divide that by 2. Get 2,100. You could just do 21, and we're going to divide that by 20, so 150 days. Now we could, in turn, just make a map that is, 3,600, like 1,315 by 2,000, whatever. But for the sake of resolution, let's do it this way. Okay, so we're going to find a place on Earth and measure this. Since we kind of want to do, we like the size, we like the pixels. Again, 6,300, we're going to divide that in half. So 3,150 miles by 4,000. We're going to divide that by 2. So 2,100 miles. So in this mathematics, we say 3,150 divided by 20 is going to be 157 days. And 2,100 divided by 20 is 105. Okay, now let's go ahead and have a look. Again, we're using the poster size and a good resolution for that. So we're going to look for an area on the map, on the globe, that is roughly that size. The reason we're going to do that is we're going to kind of find out the size of the mountains. Oh, look, it's my favorite continent, Australia. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look here. So from tip of Australia over here is roughly 2,000 miles. Well, 2,600 miles. And from the bottom to the top is 2,000. Kind of, that's close to what we kind of want here. Oh, that's the walk map. All right. And here we go. So let's go ahead. Australia might not be, it's tall enough to what we're needing. Let's go ahead and, we went 3,000 miles or so. Oh, let's grab that again. So 3,100 miles. So it would be all the way out there. That's not too bad. So what we're going to do, so we're roughly the size of Australia. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to Alt print screen. We're going to open Yield Greatest Program Ever, Windows Paint. And we already know we want the top to the bottom, so we're going to go, well, let's double check on the top to the bottom. Want to be accurate. Okay, so from Tasmania to the Upper Horn. It's going to zoom out. So we want about right here to here. I went too far. Let's try that again. Now this is an estimate, but our map scale is going to be about that big. So a big continent for this map. Okay, once we got that cut out, Control C, we're going to hit File, we're going to hit New. We're not going to save that. We're going to throw that down there. We're going to save as JPEG. We're going to put that down a stream. All right, let's go ahead and crack open Wonderdraft. We already know our scale in miles. To cross this map from north to south, it's going to take us 105 days. From east to west, 157. Roughly, this is the size of Australia. Now, again, I have imported. I've imported this map. This is the one I want to plan out and work with. And I have these figures here. What we're going to do now is we're just going to slap Australia on this to give us kind of a good estimate on how big this is. Oh, the scale doesn't work, so we got a little bit of an issue there. Oh no! So we are just going to make this a lot bigger. Again, wonderful world of MS Paint is that it is indeed splendid. Honestly, this picture really doesn't matter how big it is. Well, it matters. We want to go bigger versus smaller. Oh, don't want to stretch that. Then shift. All right, cool. And again, it's paint. Let's do this instead. We'll pull a new one. I zoom out a little bit more. You could easily do this in GIMP or Photoshop or anything like that. That'd be a lot easier to do. Just gotta keep that, zip that there. We'll save that now. You know, let's just make sure we just get this absolutely ridiculously big. You can always scale down. Scaling up in Wonderdraft is a lot more difficult. Okay. Throw that back in our folder. Yes, we want to replace it. Let's go back to Wonderdraft. Select the better image. Wrong folder, Crunk. Oh, definitely wrong folder. Oh! Again, that's why we do this live. I think it's current. Yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, that's big enough. Sheesh. All right, so we know Australia's about that big. We've kind of got our scale. And we can, of course, up the opacity. Now, there's another feature in ArtRage that's kind of fun. If you go over here, once you're in the overlay section, and hit this, the grid tool, we can actually make grids. Okay, let's go ahead and throw a square grid on everything, which looks really kind of cool. And to save you some time, effort, pain, and suffering, if we were to say one of these grids is a day travel, I mean, we can really go in far with this. The way you'd usually do this to get 100% right scale wise, you'd go in and you'd count every single square. And again, in this case, that'd be, 157 squares and 105 up, 157 over. I've kind of already done the math, and I've counted each and every single one. So at poster size, if we go to 20 on the size of the grid, let's come over into this corner and make sure it's squared. At this resolution right here, a setting of 20, each one of these grids is a day's walk. So let's go ahead and, oh, no, come on. We could also increase it to 40 and that double the size. We want to make something a little smaller. But in this case, if we are looking at Australia, the number is 20. All right, that's actually why I do the question in chat is biomes. How big should a biome be? Okay, that's a great question. If we're looking here in Australia, we kind of can distinguish some biomes. Now, Australia is a little bit extreme because it goes from, you got tropical up in this area, then it goes to temperate-ish in these greener areas, then it goes into plains here, and other things here. So let's go ahead and look at that. So if we were in Google, we can kind of measure. Our biomes is about 600 feet, 600 miles. And then this biome here is 2,000 miles and 1,000 miles. Now, if we're going into areas that we know, in my case, it's the United States of America. I'm sorry. If we're looking at biomes in the United States of America, let's go ahead and look at this. You got about 1,000 miles. It'd be probably safe to assume about 1,000 miles is a good, healthy biome. Now, your coastal biomes are going to be a lot different. Again, look, about 1,000 miles here in Appalachia and also the East Coast. Same thing there. It is going to, of course, get hot and cold. Let's go ahead and look at California. The beautiful San Fernando Valley. It's about 400 miles. So a good rule of thumb, according to this, is between 500 and 1,000 miles. Okay, let's go to Africa. I'm gonna get copyright striked. Now, that is roughly, 1,000 miles and some change. If we go into other places, now Europe's kind of weird because you got all the ocean currents. And then we have the 1,000 miles. So based on that, we know that a biome is roughly between 1,000 to 500 miles. And again, this is just eyeballing it. If we really wanted to get into some crazy biome stuff, we could do overlay with biomes. So you know what? Why not? Let's do that right now. We are going to look at biomes. All right. So we're going to use this one right here. Come on. So we have biomes, and you can kind of see the size of stuff. Now, we kind of measured this one already, so we know there's about 1,000 miles. This is like 3,000 miles. But it's looking, I think the 500-mile rule is actually pretty good. Let's go into the jungle here in South America with Google Maps. And it's saying that this area, It's probably going to be 1,000. Yep, 1,000, 1,200. It looks like on Earth, and that's 2,000, our biomes are measured from north to south at 500 miles. East to west, it appears that our biomes, the size of those biomes, doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead and translate that back to Wonderdraft. So we know that, let's grab it here. Where's my figures? Okay, we know that our map is 3,000 miles by 2,000 miles. And let's go ahead, and it looks like the 2,100 miles is our big contender. So we can split that 21. Let's divide that by 500 for now. All right. So in this map, we actually have the one that we're working on. We have, if a biome's 500 miles, we have 4 separate biomes. Let's go ahead and drop the opacity here, and we're going to mark that right now. So we go to our land, we go to our brush. Yeah, let's go black and white. And let's make some biomes here. So we have 4. Okay, so first biome, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say this is our hottest biome down here. Actually, we're going to flip the lid. This is in the southern hemisphere. So this is going to be a warm, let's get that brush size really big. So this is going to be a warm biome. And we have 4 of these. Okay, let's go with subtropical next. Let's kind of make that that color. And again, we could count the days. Let's do that, might as well, right? Let's count the days to walk. 500 divided by 20 is roughly 25 days. So if we zoom in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. A little bit off on this, I believe. I want to, yes, I am off. That's fine. So biome there. Let's go ahead and erase. One, two. I think my scale for my grid is off to be 100%. So let's go ahead and change that. We'll overlay with our grid. I think if 40 is actually better. Let's double check that. 44, we want 40. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so basically, you could safely assume it takes a month for an adventurer to travel through a biome, which is kind of insane if you think about it, but kind of cool. Okay, so we have another biome here, kind of eyeballing at this point. Then we have our, let's go with warmer. Let's just go with a kind of a warm temperate. Not that color, different color, please. All right, do kind of a temperate here. Then we'll go with a cool temperate. All right. So we kind of have a scale now on where things are. Puppet Master, is this helping? The whole math and stuff and the process? We'll go over that near the end of the video. All right, so we are back in here. Let's go ahead, and now that we know how big it is, we know how large it is, we also have found out our biomes, which I'm really glad we did this. Let's go ahead now, and we're going to start planning this out. Now, the biomes are cool and all, but right now with our map in Wonderdraft, this kind of looks like butt. So we're going to change that. But we have a good idea of where things are going. Let's go with theme. I don't know. Let's go. No, I don't want pastel. Imagination. Let's do imagination. All right. Let's get in here, erase all this crap. And let's go back to our biomes. We're going to add some, let's get kind of a amber. That's a little too bright. Oh, that's cool. All right. That's better. Yeah. All right. We're going to open our brush. We're going to get that. And we are just going to go a little nuts. Let's call our biomes in. And the key to making good biomes is blending the biomes. We're going to make this grassland. Let's kind of go, yuck. Sometimes the colors in Wonderdraft, sometimes a little much to be desired. However, there is another video I'm going to do is loading custom content. Now that's a good transition there for grasslands. There we go. We're going to leave this temperate here, just kind of a green. And our colder area, we're going to come in with this color. That is the color, actually. Okay, let's add, shift that down a little bit. There we go. Oh, totally too much. All right. So here we are. This is kind of our biome size. Now, our biome is, for this exercise, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Puppet Master, the question is, should we do biomes first or mountains second? In this case, since we've studied how big the biomes are, gotten pretty much a rough estimate of how many, well, pretty accurate estimate of how long it would take to walk this map up and down, we are going to add the mountains, and then we're going to edit the biomes, because you're like in England. And let me zip on over there. Okay, we're kicking up in England, in Norway, and that is on the same, if we look at where it is, England is the same as Upper Canada, okay, or Moscow, okay. So England is a lot warmer than that. Primarily, you have this big ocean current right here that moves from the south, bringing a lot of storm and a lot of warm things. So we're going to take that into account. We're also going to take the mountains into account. So let's go ahead and let's hit some mountains really quick. And again, this is a planning stage. I always like to do this. We'll add these guys. See if there's a better one that's a little bigger. There we go. For the sake of this, we are going to, let's go ahead and first get an idea of where we want to put our mountains. We do have the biomes. Let's go ahead and hit our mountains. Let's say we have this continent up here in the north. Let's say it's slamming down here. So we're going to have this giant range of mountains that is craggling up. And again, these mountains would run east to west or west to east, depending. Let's say instead of like India, where the Indian continent is creating a subduction zone underneath the Asian plate, we're going to have both plates kind of be moving up. So let's say we have some more mountains up here. And again, I'm using my mouth, no stylus. It was actually going to fit us pretty well. Let's say we got some older mountains here, some ancient mountains in this area. Okay, pretty cool. Now we're going to have on our ocean, we're going to ask ourselves, where is the hot going to be? Let's say the hot is down here. We got, since the equator's here, we got oceans coming this way, and then we have one coming down here. This area is going to be a lot more warmer because of the ocean than um, over here. So to reflect that, let's go back to our brush and let's go ahead and grab this color, and we're going to now blend those. We're going to drop our opacity like crazy. And we're going to run this biome down into this area. Okay, so it's a little bit warmer. Maybe there's a lake effect here too. Down here, this kind of a grassland. You know what? Let's change the theme here because this is kind of hard to see. Let's go to. I don't like that paper. I just want to find something that's not so. That works. That works. Okay. So we're going to go to our zones here. Oops, sorry, land. Land, brush. Oh, I guess we're kind of stuck in whatever we were before. I think that was imagination. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll have to stay in imagination for now. Let's go find our water. We'll change that. All right. Looks like this grid that we got going is kind of making it kind of hard to see what we're doing. So let's just turn that off for now. We'll come back to that. We know the size. All right. Let's keep on going with this warm grasslandsy area. Now, it's going to spread south, so we have to compensate up north with that kind of hotter desert coming down here. So do that. Let's grab our, let's grab that, an orangish. It's like it didn't save. We can do that. Same thing. Opacity down quite far. We know that our coasts here are a little bit warmer. In fact, we could take this down to opacity to 1. I'm just making little circles along the coasts. As you can see, we kind of have the biome flexing a little bit. Now, the farther west we go on this map, the colder it's going to get. So let's reflect that. Just keep that in mind. So we kind of have this biome here. And actually, this desert's going to get real hot. So we want to reflect that too. So we're going to need a really nasty hot color. Maybe a red rock color. Yes? No? Yes. Up here, we'll just put that down. So this is like, oh, holy crap, really hot. Nothing's going to live there. I think that's a little too orange. Let's go ahead and change. Oops. So see, we will change that color. Too much red in that. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, that's a lot better. We'll go with that. Again, play on your opacity. There we go. Okay, let's go back to our green that we're using. We're going to kind of, nope. Opacity's way high on that. So we're going to work and blend that a little bit better. around this area. Down there. We're going to keep our mountains a little on the cool side. Then we'll go back to our green and, oops, it's a lot of green we just added there. Ah, I lost a really cool green. Oh well. No, losing sleep over that. Okay, so let's go ahead and blend down here. And over here is going to be a lot colder, but for now I'm just going to blend. Yeah, it's kind of hard. And there's so much, the color thing I don't like because you're dealing with a lot of pastels. So we're just going to pull this color all the way down and then come up with a cooler color. Let's kind of come in here with around these areas since it's kind of swampy. I'm finding though with Wonderdraft, the absolutely best thing about it is the community and the custom content that's out there for people. It's going to make this area like a little, maybe this. I want something lighter. Just go ahead and find a green there, add a little yellow into it. Let's go with that. Yeah, that looks better. I'm just going to blend that, keep it out of the mountains. It feels cold now with that. Add a lot of that highlight of white. No, but yeah, Wonderdraft, the color thing I kind of don't like. All right. Now in the mountains here, we're gonna kind of blend this cold into these mountains. And I think we're also going to blend a little bit more of this here. Come up here with this. Turn the, yeah. But as you can see, we're adjusting the map based on what we know about it. There's nothing wrong with, like, if you put your mountains using your mountains, like right down here, I'm making my mountains really cold. And the valley is a different climate. Cool. So let's go ahead and review. 1 second. Upload their email. All right. So let's go ahead and review what we kind of did today. First of all, we want to find a scale for a map. Check 1, 2. There we go. First, we're going to find a scale for a map. In this case, we're going to hit, we'll save this one because I'm actually liking where this is going. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to do a new map. We'll find Wonderdraft, be busy, see if I care. In this case, though, we're going to change the, so no, there was a 0 way to rotate. No, that's awesome. I do like how active Wonderdraft is when it comes to the community. And the developers really listen, and I really like that. Yeah, you have to bug them a little bit, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and we're going to change this to right off the, let's keep this formula. Okay. So we know we want to make a map. And let's approach this from the size of map we want to make. Let's say I'm into medieval Europe, like big time into medieval Europe. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a measurement of Europe. Let's go, Danube's here. Let's go to the Black Sea here. So this is about 2,000 miles like that. And from there to there, 1,300 miles. Cool. And for the sake of this, let's go ahead and make this, I don't know, 2,000 miles. And 1,500 miles. You can easily do that. If you want a higher resolution, of course, you can pull this kind of thing. And just double in stuff. So with that measurement, let's go black and white this time. With that measurement, we now have, so 2,000 miles by 1,500 miles. So that's 40,000 by 30,000. So in this, we'll now figure out scale. So we have the miles right here. 2,000 miles divided by 20 is 100. And 1,500 divided by 20 is 75. All right. Let's go back to Google Earth. Next step is, since we kind of have a figure of where things are and how big things are, so we're going to here to about here. And then from Denmark, let's go all the way down to Sicily. Okay, we've kind of got our size there. We're going to Alt that, Alt print screen. We're going to throw this image. Oops. Gotta hold down Shift for this to work right. I'm going to put that into a frame if I can. Okay, we'll just eyeball this. So we stretch the crap out of Europe. Man, I'm having a dickens of a time with this one. Move that there. Hold down Shift, stretch it this way. Lies to me. What's going on, Europe? Maybe we have to do it this way. We just abused one of my favorite regions. Oh, no, the actual image. Spending way too much time on this step. You know what? For the sake of this, let's... Almost there. Okay, we got it. We're going to say this is a JPEG. We're going to put it over here. Yes or no? We need to replace it. All right, so let's go back to Wonderdraft. We're going to, not that button. Well, let's just do this. Going to go to Overlays. We're going to get this trace tool. I'm going to select our image. And Sicily to there, there to there. Okay, so we got our scale right there. Now let's go ahead and put our overlay in here. And again, we're looking at down 100 days. So we will just adjust this. We'll go back to 40. All right. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 40, 50. All right. I think that's actually pretty accurate. Again, I can go in and count all of these, but again, we're looking for from top to bottom, we're looking for about 75 squares. Actually, this little bigger side is 100 squares, so it's probably about there. Okay, next step here is we're going to look at our land. Decrease the opacity there. And we're just going to have this generate something for us. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to figure out biomes. We found that they are about 500. 500, between 500 to 1,000. In this case, it would be, since it's 1,500 miles, we'd have 3 biomes. So we're going to paint those really quick. One there. One biome there. One biome there. Then we can add our mountains. Then it has feature to make tunnels or caves. Yeah, no, I would love additional levels in Wonderdraft. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic, and they need to do that. You can make it underdark and underwater, and actually another, like a subcontinent or a whole Earth. Okay, guys, that's pretty much how to. This is how I find scale. I hope that works. Again, it's pixel size. You determine how far a person can walk, and again, it's 20 miles a day. You get a scale off Google Earth. You figure out how big that is. In this case, we can do our overlays. And that's kind of our England overlay. And then we can just kind of go from there. This has been Dan with Ava Novus. We're going to end it there today. I hope this helps someone. Again, our co-host Puppet Master would like to thank him for his comments and letting us know what he needs in the channel. We really appreciate that. Thanks to everybody, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.